Hi everyone. This video is to help with due date 5, just a few things going on there, and to just give you a thumbs up and cheerleading and keep going. So I have finished grading both due date 3. Actually, I'd finished that before you all did it. I just hadn't announced it, and due date 4. But what that means is, in the world according to Shelley, I have finished grading everything you've submitted except for the few of you who have submitted some stuff for due date number 5. So if you have turned in work for due date 1 through 4 and you don't think I've graded it, then you need to tell me something so I can go back and look for it. And if you've resubmitted something, you have to tell me, or I don't know to go back and look for it. So a couple things to draw your attention to. I'm going to go to home here. Open it up. I want to come back to... You'll notice over the weekend I finished plugging in everything for the rest of the course, so if you wanted, you could work ahead. However, please note, hopefully you've realized that some work requires you to engage with your classmates, to peer review them, or to read and reply, and so just recognize that if you work ahead, some work you still have to wait for everybody else. And also realize just because you work ahead doesn't mean I'll grade ahead with you, so your work will get graded with everybody else's. Okay, so due date 5, that's tomorrow, and you actually have a lot going on in this due date. I've collapsed. I normally don't do this, but I actually do it for Project 1 for a variety of reasons. You're doing both the peer review. Please notice that you have to do 2 peer reviews, so 2 different students. Also notice peer reviews are not accepted late. They're like drafts. Now, you'll do the peer reviews. I do want to quickly tell you that peer reviews are based on both quantity and quality, so make sure you are commenting. The best way to do that is work through these prompts here and make sure you do them all. If you do all that, then you should earn full points, but they're worth a lot of points. Peer reviews are worth 10 points each, and then you get 5 points. You have to go to your individual discussion board area and post who you reviewed, links to them, and comments on what you learned. So let's quickly show what some of this is going to look like. So for peer reviews, you're going to want to go into the Project 1 area. You're going to want to go in and find someone who hasn't had a review done yet. Probably one of the quickest ways to do that is go up under Last Modified and click Last Modified. And what that tells you is what project someone has gone in and changed things. So there's the owners, but here's modified. So if you know something hasn't been modified for a while, chances are it hasn't been reviewed. So then I'm going like, okay, so this one probably hasn't been reviewed because it hasn't been modified. So open it up, reviews. I'll be looking for both in-text comments. So like here we see people highlighting and making comments. I'll be looking for those. I will also be looking for at the bottom here, and I think this one has it, yes. So Brianna, good job. She put in her name and then she wrote kind of a paragraph or 2 with overarching comments. I'll be looking for both of those. Again, with peer reviews, more is more. So let's see. Brianna did this. Now, before she's considered done, Brianna's got to go back to the class, go to discussions. We'll see if she's already done this. Let me go into her discussion board area. Scroll to the bottom. There we go. So I'm guessing right here, this is Brianna putting links to who she peer reviewed. So to finalize this post right here for peer review, 1, she's going to want to title it, give it something, give the traditional due date 5 homework. What homework number is it? Homework 2. And then also the reflection asks for, or the prompt asks for Brianna to reflect what she learned from doing peer reviews. So that's what you'll have to do for the peer reviews. If you have not figured it out, when you if you want to make a link, you can either drop in the long, ugly URL, or you can just type a word, click on this little chain icon and paste in the URL there, and that will make it a little bit cleaner. So there you go. That's what you're going to have to do for peer reviews. Brianna, thanks for being a person who had done this already, so I could demo it for everybody else. So that is the first big chunk. That will take time. The second big chunk is you're being asked to revise and submit project 1. And part of the message I'm sending here is two-part. One, that you might want to wait for your classmates and see what they have to say. And two, and this is actually the more important message, you actually learn a lot from peer reviewing your classmates. So even if you choose not to wait for their comments on yours, you will learn a lot from doing serious close peer reviewing on your classmates, and I guarantee you will figure out things to revise on your own draft just by looking at your classmates. When you're submitting for project 1 or all the projects, I want to note that you have 2 places you have to submit. You have to both put it in the Google Drive folder and in the assignment area. So in the assignment area, basically, sorry, it looks slightly different for me, right? I'm not a student. The assignment area, you'll have the ability to drop in a URL, but what you need to do in the Google Drive area is you're gonna make a second version. So here's your draft. You need to submit a second version that says final. Now here's the really important thing, folks. When we're looking at finals, when I'm looking at the finals, I don't want to see any of this stuff. I don't want to see peer reviews. I don't want to see people's comments on the side. Your final should be a clean copy, something that you would submit to a teacher, submit to a publisher. It shouldn't have all of this process work represented on it. So make sure it's a clean, crisp copy. Okay. That will probably take the majority of your time doing those 2 things. However, as always, you have more work. Most of the rest of this work for the deadline is reflection. It's getting you to think about what you learned while you worked on project 4. So you'll do some reading and writing and some more reading and writing. You're going to be asked to do a course reflection document. That's the last kind of step here. And I just want to show you that there's a new folder in the shared drive area. This is kind of important. See, the error already happened. Okay, so notice in the instructions, I said find a document that says last name and click on make a copy and replace last name with your name. Now notice in here there is nothing that says last name. However, if you look at owners, there's one that's owned by me. Oops, it's Brittany, I think, right? This person did not copy it. So I will go in and I will drop in another clean copy of last name, but please make sure. So let's do that right now. See, this is why I keep a clean copy, because I know this is going to happen. There we go. Okay. So now there's a copy of last name in here again. Now notice they're both owned by me. So what you'll want to do is right click, make a copy, and then right click again and you can rename it, and you'll rename it with your last name. Like that. And then I'm going to delete this one because I don't need one in there. And so 1, you'll have to make your own copy. And then 2, what you'll be doing is you'll be filling in this document. So basically I've started, oh, oops, haha, this is, oh, I oopsed big time. I have the project 3. Well, I'm going to have to go in and fix this, but okay, so what you all are seeing is you see how to do it. Now, the problem is, notice it's a collecting resources worksheet. I put the wrong document in the reflection, so I'm going to have to go fix that. But anywho, make the copy and then start filling in. It'll be the same. At that point, those are the major things I want you to share with 5 and keep going. If you have questions, I will answer them.